Well, it's the end of the year, and with that comes the last few updates to Manor Lords and what we're going to be getting within the next few months. And oh my god, it's pretty goddamn exciting. Now, we all know that Manor Lords is getting this entirely new maps, 2 new maps, but we get a bit of a closer look within this next developer blog. In fact, this came out on December the 18th, so a few days ago now, but from Hooded Horse themselves, excited to show the preview of the upcoming mod. So we've got a bridge building tool because, I mean, a lot of the questions were, all right, okay, well, we're getting all these new rivers, but how do we get across that? Well, it seems that that has been solved. A new bridge building system using the existing road tools to span rivers and connect key areas. And of course, it uses resources, as we can see. When you're going from one side, it connects from a road. And of course, when it gets to the river, it says, oh, it's going to take this many planks to go over said river. And it builds as such. And you can see on the other side as well, a road actually pops up. It will build a road here to that. And it will build another road here on either side of these bridges. Now, it's still not seen whether we can actually connect the bridges between. That would be an awesome addition. But however, this is a really, really great addition. And what I'm looking forward to seeing is some goddamn bridge battles. Imagine the armies of the enemy are coming towards you and you cannot defeat them because they heavily outnumber you, except from your terrain. And you use these bridges in order to stop them. And this looks absolutely awesome. Once again, some great details being used. Now, of course, I love the realism side of this because we are playing as a small little village or hamlet, so to speak, and we're not going to be getting these incredible architecture on board where, you know, you have your stone arches, your keystones in the middle. These are your very, very basic, well, wooden bridges. Maybe in the future they'll be upgraded, there'll be troop trees or paths that can go down that route, but for now we've just got our basic wooden bridges. There's also reworked deep mine and cranking animations as well. Now, there's so much more that can come with this. I think in terms of content, this is basically just based around how it looks rather than actually doing too much in the deep mines. If anyone is unsure, the mines, well, they're scattered around the map, but if you get the upgrades, they can be formed into deep mines, meaning that you're actually able to get unlimited or plentiful resources out of a certain area. This looks to be an iron mine more than anything else. Funnily enough, right in the middle of a village, which I feel is very rare. And of course, we've got the marketplaces here with the meat stands on there. And this all looks really, really great. We can see some of these animations that they're working very, very hard on at this point in time. Not just that, but an overstock mechanic. To keep supplies smoother in larger settlements, workers will now bring extra resources preemptively, almost as if additional burgage plots were consuming them. For example, tavern workers may overstock when they sense a resource like ale is about to run out, ensuring the steady flow, which I really, really do like. And we can see this here, the overstock. Well, that's a setting. You can choose how much can be overstocked, meaning that you're going to have less of the issues with not having enough ale in order to get the level 3 houses. And I think that's probably been the main issue that they've been trying to fix. When you're ready to upgrade to a level 3 house, but well, there's no ale because it comes in with the harvest, but there's not enough to keep you tied over till the next harvest, so it goes in and out and you'll keep losing ale and you're not able to replenish it in time. This is a great way of keeping that constant supply, not just because, I mean, you need resources all year round, but for the upgrading to these level 3 houses, which actually, in fact, I don't think any of these are level 3 that we can see on here. We can see the setting to be able to overstock there. Workers bringing extra resources as if extra burgage plots existed. There's also unit card reordering, which is fantastic. A little bit of a hint from Total War here into the units that you can use. So now you're able to actually, I'd probably put your retinue on the far left, like they're doing so. You can put your spearmen together, and eventually, if cavalry does come into the game, that will be an addition. Now, we do know in the trailers that cavalry was part of the retinue. We still haven't got that, and I think that's been delayed for quite some time. I don't think it's anywhere near on the horizon. But of course, we've got the new crossbowman unit as well. A map selection feature is in the works, along with 2 new playable maps, High Peaks and Winding Rivers. Now, we've seen the Winding Rivers, and there we go. We've got an image of an army crossing the Winding River as well on those bridges, which is absolutely fantastic. In terms of the peaks, we've had very little to do with that. There was a few hints here. As you can see, this is within those Swiss villages, which is absolutely awesome in the valleys. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. But mostly this developer blog is based really on these winding rivers. But we can have a few more screenshots taking some closer looks at these as well. And I think this is the Winding Rivers map, and it looks goddamn gorgeous. I mean, admittedly, a lot of this looks like your regular Manor Lords map and playthrough, but you're able to switch between. We can see the fishing lakes there that will be making an appearance within the next one. We've got our orchards and our farms as well. And whoever made this map is, I mean, they've set it out absolutely brilliantly. So that's pretty much everything that we're going to be getting on this version. Now, if we actually look into the new maps, there's a few more screenshots of these winding rivers in the snowy areas. And of course, here is the highland ones, or at least the valleys and the high peaks. And new building upgrades as well, but I've covered them in a developer blog first. But one thing that actually came out is that we've had over 2.5 million sales within Manor Lords, and well, this kind of gives you a good hint of what we can expect in the future of the game, because Manor Lords has been a fantastic breakout hit, and I think it's pretty safe to say that. However, what they do with the future is always going to be in question, because when a small indie studio like Hooded Horse, as you can expect, they come into sort of a huge hit like Manor Lords, and of course Slavic Magic, who's a completely independent game developer until Hooded Horse bought them up. You'd expect them to go absolutely crazy and start hiring a load of extra people and relying on their next game, because they do have other games under their wing. But this is a great interview that was released very, very, well, recently. With whopping 2.5 million sales under its belt, Manor Lords is undeniably a smash hit city builder, but the publisher Hooded Horse doesn't want to get unrealistic with its expectations of any future releases because of one indie game's success. I know that says gems there, but that's just sounded very strange to say. So the Hooded Horse co-founder, Snow Ryu, which is a fantastic name, says that they were surprised by the success of Manor Lords, despite of course, the interest that the marketing and trades generated. But it would be almost arrogant to not be taken aback about how successful it would be. And 2.5 million sales, I mean, is absolutely incredible for a game of this size. Most AAA studios would be lucky to get like a 5 million sales. We've just seen Kingdom Come Deliverance has surpassed. Oh my God, that's an awful Freudian slip. Surpassed 5 million sales, but 2.5 is absolutely incredible, and more than any indie game can really hope, as much as it's not really an indie game now. But they've said there'll be people pushing you to have a different expectation or treating the next year as a failure if the breakout hit doesn't repeat itself, but that's not the case. It's a matter of setting your expectations and centering who you are. Of course, they've said, whilst another Manor Lords would be nice, the developer doesn't always need AAA level sales for an indie game to be considered successful. And Hooded Horse have all that behind them. They have a fantastic, well, group of games under. Clan Focus, a fantastic sort of RimWorld type title as well. Got Nordland, which is very, very similar. You've got Empires of the Undergrowth, which was pretty successful back in the day. And of course, the Old World, which is a little bit like a 4X strategy civilization type game. So they have plenty of games that do pretty well. And Manor Lords was probably just the most successful breakout success of all of them. But the fact that they're not getting too carried away with it and they're looking for a sustainable future for Manor Lords rather than pushing too much out has been shown. You see, whilst Manor Lords has been great, I think the player base itself has wondered what's been going on with a lot of the updates. But in fact, it's all been pretty steady. If we go to the 6 months, there's been go away privacy. There's been updates coming in and out. We've been settling at around 6,000-7,000 concurrent players, which is very, very healthy. Of course, if you go to the 1 year, you can see, no, it's not even a year ago. Jesus Christ, it was only May that this game came out. Oh my God. So it got to its all-time peak of 172,000, and then it's kind of stopped at a very steady place with updates coming in and out. But this is where we see this next update that is really going to be a huge boom for it. I think with the 2 new maps and of course the extra additions, that's where content is going to start ramping up, which I think a lot of people have been waiting for. But let me know what you think of the description. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Have you been waiting for a bit more content with Manor Lords, or do you still play it even to this day? But nonetheless, this is the last developer blog that Manor Lords will be bringing out in 2024, and I can't wait to be able to play these new maps in 2025. Boy, there's going to be a lot of content, so make sure you stick around the channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Go away, malware bites. Piss off.